Welcome back. It's time now for the Great Day Morning Mix. NASA is getting ready to take the streaming wars to the moon. The space agency released this new trailer for its first on-demand streaming service called NASA Plus. NASA says the family-friendly service will feature the agency's live streams, collections of its original video series, and some new series just for streaming. NASA Plus will be free. It will not require a subscription. The service is slated to launch later this year and will be available on the web and on most major platforms, including Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. So maybe giving us a little bit more of an inside look at NASA.
Yeah.
Science girl, you very excited about
or
this?
outside, depending on
Yeah,
where you're
that's true.
looking.
That's right.
Yeah, I think this is great. Not only just to enter the streaming war, but just to get science education out there to make people science literate. This could certainly help with that. And putting it on your Apple TV or other places where it's easier to access is just a really good thing, I think. Plus, I'll be tuning in. I want to see what's going on out there.
Absolutely.
Right. And for a younger generation of kids, how inspiring and enriching to watch live as NASA explores the unknown and space. And by the way, I like that there are no ads.
Right?
It's just streaming. And it's free.
Free, no subscription. And two, like NASA and space seems to be so just kind of over our heads sometimes, or maybe out of reach for a lot of, especially the young folks. So having it right there, I'm really curious to just have the access to that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Good idea. Good idea.
Very exciting.
Definitely.
Well, guys, Lizzo is being sued by some of her former dancers. They say Lizzo pressured one of the dancers to engage with nude performers at a club in Amsterdam, and then she maybe shamed another dancer for weight gain before firing her. Lizzo's representatives have not commented on the lawsuit. Those dancers have shared their claims online, generating a lot of reaction. Lizzo's name has been trending overnight, of course, and there seem to be three trains of thought here. Support for the dancers, anger towards Lizzo, and surprise for some who say Lizzo had long been an advocate for body positivity. And of course she has. I mean, that's kind of followed her, or been part of her entire career. And in fact, I think she graced the cover of Vogue, and in an article years ago, she said, "I don't want to be the poster girl for body positivity. How about body normalcy?" So she was even trying to, everyone's saying, wow, she's all about this body positivity. That's so great. She's an icon in this space for, just different marginalized communities and bringing it to the forefront. And she was saying, well, hey, this is not positive. This is normal.
Right.
So with these allegations, it's disappointing if that's true.
It's very disappointing.
It is definitely. I think I'm in box number 3 with the shock when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
Truth be told, it's like after I had my baby and I had a little mommy tummy still going on, which I guess wasn't all the way to mommy, probably some cupcakes in there. But it made me not feel as bad. I'm like, I'm going to throw these Spanx on and take over the world.
That's right.
But the other, as I read more into some of these allegations, they were very disheartening. Apparently they were in the red light district of
Amsterdam.
Yes, and there were some performers, and she was encouraging them to go up and touch the new performers. If that's not something you want to do, you shouldn't feel like obligated. But it's possible that, because she's around her peers. I know they were chanting to try to encourage this dancer to go up and participate. And at some point, you may feel embarrassed and just want to do it just to make all of that, stop, as I think how she described it. So.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line because they're not your friends; they're your dancers' employees. So that's where it gets really tricky.
Right.
So one of the ones that surprised me, I mean, there was a lot of talk about fat shaming and fat phobic, and there was a dancer that said she soiled herself because she was afraid to leave the stage during an audition. She was re-auditioning to be one of the dancers and afraid to even just leave the stage for, possibly getting fired or not getting the job because she had to go to the restroom. And one of the directors, the woman who signed on, I guess, to be a director of her of Lizzo's documentary, came out, not with allegations, but came out in support. And she said she had quit 2 weeks after starting this documentary, saying some things about Lizzo, that it was just such a hostile work environment. So this is all breaking, of course, and it's all alleged. So we do want to say with that, we'll see how this plays out. But it's really shocking.
Yeah, to say the least. All right, something else that may be a little shocking around here. 2 cows Around the loose in South Bowie near Saddlebrook neighborhood, Bowie police think the cows escaped from a farm in Anne Arundel County 5 days ago, but don't be alarmed. Police say the cows aren't causing any trouble. If you see the cows, give a call to the Bowie Police Department. You know,
you know what this reminds me of? Remember when the zebras were on the loose?
Yeah.
And that was a story for a while. Look, they're just mosey on down the road.
Calm and sweet.
I mean, you know, we like to have animals in cages and on farms, but they would like to be free.
That's
and
true.
So, you know, sometimes they're going to go after their freedom, you know, just like everybody else. Like, you know what, forget these fences. Let's see what else the world has to offer.
Be kind, let them pass, call the Bowie police. Let's get them back safely.
Exactly.
Can you imagine just sitting there in your living room watching TV and this big old cow just goes on by and they're just moseying. They're not running or running away.
They're just like, hey, how's that show?
You know
streaming anything good?
Better a cow than a bear.
That's true. We've had all those bear sightings in D.C. area.
Exactly. Much more mild-mannered animal. Yeah,
again,
definitely.
stay away, call the cops, and just observe them from afar. All right, you may have seen this video trending on your social media feeds. I'm loving this. A zoo in eastern China is speaking out after visitors claim one of its Malayan sun bears is fake. You see the bear standing on the hind legs. It's viral video, waving. Many visitors believe it is a person dressed in a bear costume because of how it is standing up. And look at the fur, it kind of looks like it's wrinkled up. They think it's a bear suit. Well, the zoo says sun bears are slender and they're not like grizzly or black bears. And a lot of people aren't buying it. The zoo also claims people just don't understand the species. They're saying this bear is real. Now, because of this, though, the visitorship to this China zoo has gone up 30%. So like 20,000 people a day. Yeah. That's what they're saying. They're like, if you don't believe it, come see for yourself.
Well, that's good advertisement.
Right, I know. It's working for them in that regard.
I'm like, let's do verify. Let's have, you know, a zoologist come in and weigh in on this. But another thing they said was that, do you think that a person could withstand these triple-digit heat-like temperatures in a bear costume all day long?
For hours all day long.
I mean, it would be uncomfortable, but I guess anything's possible. They do say that this sun bear is the smallest bear in like the bear species, standing tall at 51 inches. So that's their explanation. Like, you're not used to seeing bears that are a little bit more slender or petite, but this is the smallest bear. And I don't know.
You gotta think too, animals are so much more like humans than we like to think sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you believe in evolution,
right,
it's kind of where humans evolved from.
However, when I look at that video, I'm like,
I know. The wrinkled skin on the back is what kind of gets me a little bit. Like standing up, that's fine. It's that little wrinkle right in the back.
Like, this looks like maybe too much fabric here.
They claim it's real.
They claim it's real. Well, we shall see, or maybe not. So slime is coming to the Super Bowl. CBS Sports and Nickelodeon announced yesterday that an alternate telecast will be available for Super Bowl 58 in February. Nickelodeon's kid-friendly broadcasts first started in 2021 and have been a big hit because of their special graphics. CBS Morning's Nate Burleson will be in the booth to call the game on Nickelodeon. This is really exciting. Who doesn't love slime?
Kind of liking this virtual reality slime. It's probably better than the real slime pouring all over you, but yeah, this is fun. Of course, slime is fun to play with.
Yes.
You know, having being poured on you, completely different.
But I mean, how smart with this? This was a hit when they started it in 2021. And you especially think, you know, the pandemic, and they were just trying to change things up and make football and the NFL more understandable to younger folks or people that really don't understand the sport, and just make it more fun in a way. And it's been a big hit. Some people I know will only watch, adults will only watch that version of it. Depends who the hosts are too.
Yeah,
right.
But they really explain it in like layman's terms. You know, what is happening, why this play was important, and then having fun with the slime.
That's the broadcast I need to watch.
Exactly.
Like, that's the one I'm gonna, that's what's happening.
And yeah, just too, from a business perspective, it's smart to try to get that audience while they're young and ingrain it in then. Like, hey, watching is the thing to do.
Look how much fun football really is.
Exactly, exactly. All right, well, having Taylor Swift as your boss pays off. The superstar is wrapping up her Eras tour in the United States and is handing out bonuses to a lot of the people who helped make it all possible. According to ET, Taylor gave $100,000 in bonuses to around 50 of her production truck drivers, and also gave bonuses to her band members, dancers, and lighting and sound technicians, among others. Swift kicked off the United States leg of her concert back in March in Arizona and finishes this weekend in California before heading to Mexico.
So it's like $55 million in total she's giving in bonuses. And you got to think, think she's had like over 130 shows just on the or I think overall by the time she finishes, $13 million a show just through ticket sales that she's supposed to make. So it's incredible to hear that she's giving all of that to, giving the bonuses to the people that actually make this happen for her. And it's the grips, really, like you said, the sound technicians, everybody that's involved.
They work so hard to put the show together. They really do. And I love how generous she is. And I think Forbes has said that she is the second wealthiest self-made musician after Rihanna. And so she certainly got the money. And I love that she's being generous with it to the people that are working hard to make these shows possible.
Well, this is one way to share the wealth, if you will. And I think it's a good thing, and maybe hopefully some other companies can take a cue, like, hey, all the money doesn't have to be at the top. We can, look out for everybody. So, and that work, as you mentioned, is grueling. It's not a typical 9 to 5.
Oh no.
It's
traveling
a lot.
Country.
Yeah, it's a lot of work that most people don't understand what goes into the behind the scenes. And she knows that, hey, I can't be a success without the people who are behind here making it happen.
You remember, these shows are 3 hours long too. So these performers, these grips, the lighting, everybody's working super long. And I read an article, it's like, it's Taylor's world. We're just living in it.
Another great reason
they're
to
causing
love
earthquakes
Taylor.
and everything else. So